Vinay, can you give me a little, like, not brief, a little bit information about the platform and what it is and everything?
Yeah, sure, Karan. Let me take this opportunity to introduce Lark, what we are offering, and both as a product and the offering in India. So Lark is what we say is the next generation office suite that truly enables teams or the entire team to work together by offering multiple and all capabilities onto a single platform or a single app. So what are the key requirements, one asked for today's organizations, and even more in these times is how do I communicate with my team, right? And these could be teams in offices, teams on the field. How do I give them information, updates, announcements, get information back from them? Second critical thing that happens is how do I collaborate across teams, whether it is, somebody in the retail down at the store level or somebody manufacturing, other team member manufacturing at the factory level. Teams are more, the whole ecosystem or the whole organization is working together on each project. It's no longer siloed. So how do organizations collaborate better? Third becomes how do I get my daily work functions done? And that is critical, what we say is business continuity, right? How do we maintain business continuity? So, and obviously, while doing all this, can I stay connected to my existing tech stack or tech ecosystem, whether it's on the ERP side or it's on the compliance side or any HRMS side. So Lark actually offers a true all-in-one experience where you're able to communicate, collaborate, get your office automation or business continuity functions as well as the open platform. To share a little on each of these, when I say communication, it involves chat. So you have unlimited users, you can have unlimited groups and up to 5,000 users per group. So it helps larger teams with different requirements to stay, active communication. Second is video conferencing. We're offering up to 100 participants in a video conferencing and unlimited minutes for free. So that
100.
Yeah, and up to 100 participants.
Up to 100. Okay.
Yeah, so you can have unlimited calls. For each call is 100 participants, and each call is unlimited minutes though. There's no restriction on the minutes per call.
Oh yeah.
And then there is live streaming, which is very critical when there is management talking to teams or business heads talking to their teams, or internal announcements made. So that also is unlimited users. So the organization can be any size, but there is no restriction on the number of users that can simultaneously latch on to live streaming capability. And obviously announcements, which are rich media announcements, they're just not text announcements. So you can actually use the announcement capability to share images, videos, files, attachments, comments, documents. So that's on the communication side. Second becomes collaboration and how does an organization collaborate together? And even more when you have borderless teams or cross-border teams or you're working from different locations and in, special times like this, where you're remote working. So we have Drive. We offer 200 GB Drive for free to start. And then there is Lark Docs and Lark Sheets. So Lark Docs is actually Lark Docs and Lark Sheets is advanced collaboration capabilities with project management, documents, rich media, tasks, chat groups, assignments, threads, comments. So we actually use a term called same page meeting also, where the entire team can actually do a presentation or a meeting or a review or a discussion using Lark Doc and do that while they're in a Lark VC. So you're doing a simultaneous meeting along with a document and a video conferencing capability. Then you obviously have calendar. Third bit is office automation or work automation, which is business continuity. So whether it is attendance, Lark offers attendance, approvals, which are workflows, can be any kind of workflows, can be digitalized, reports and check-ins. Something we share on the approvals. We actually have enterprises that are using the approval workflow, which typically they would have taken days and weeks by email and annual, or using personal chat tools. Now they're using the approval workflow to submit their approvals and get real-time confirmations as well as mark CC to different stakeholders.
So do you have any premium plan or something like that, premium subscription, or how much amount of money organizations have to pay to use this application? What is the catch?
So Lark is offered for free in India, and all the functions and capabilities that I've spoken to you come part of the free. Yes, there is a freemium model. The paid model is actually an enterprise model, which is a customizable Lark, where we work with larger organizations for very specific needs. So the Lark is offered free for all scale and sizes companies, whether they're SMBs or a lot of our internet and tech users actually, tech startups use Lark teams like 15, 20, 30, 40 users. And they use that because I think you'll understand when a startup starts or industry starts, they need to use 4 or 6 apps, some used for chat, some used for calling, some used for some workflows. So they're scrambling and they're typically using the free version of all of these apps with limitations. So they're coming and saying, why are you, struggling with multiple 6 or 8 apps and you can use actually Lark for free and with advanced, or what we say is enterprise grade capabilities, and not pay anything. There are professional services and technical services, that is a paid, that is when when you want to build certain applications. If your team can build these applications, Lark provides the whole open platform ecosystem along with APIs and code. But let's say you needed to outsource to build some of these mini applications for custom applications for your own internal use, then you can use the services of some of our technical partners to get them made.
Customizable model, what you're talking about, what kind of customization organization can do in like?
So there are customization.
Yeah.
So yes, customization. Sorry, go ahead, please.
You go ahead. I was just saying any kind of restriction, like if access restriction or something like that. Many apps have that. Suppose a group is found, like a group is made by a manager of a particular team, then he only have the access to add people. No one else have the access to add someone else or do something and kind of
actually
thing.
I think you bring up a very key point, which is actually more paramount for enterprises that are, when they speak of, communication security. So Lark has an active admin panel and each chat group has an administrative settings. So let's say you're an organization of 500 users. You're only adding those users who are part of your organization, unlike personal chat groups where you don't know who's part of your company or who's not part of your company. So the Lark setup can actually also be linked to your Active Directory. So when you add a user in Active Directory, it gets added in Lark, and then when an employee leaves or is asked to leave, he's removed from Lark and all his access from Lark and communication and files is instantly gone. So that's a very key value offering that we have in Lark, which lets the administrative or the HR or the admin team control the users or the number of users within their organization and restrict it only to their organization. Obviously, like I mentioned, there's an admin panel, so you have various settings for various capabilities. Like you mentioned, chat groups. Lark chat groups have advanced admin settings where the group creator can define who can send messages, what kind of settings, who can send add all messages. He can keep it as a one-way group. Obviously, typically when you use one-way group, you use the feature of announcements, but you may have an all-hands group. When you have an all-hands group, which management wants to post regular messages, so you can control that. In fact, in our chat groups, we also have bots, which you can customize for reminders and for sending updates. And then out of our chat group itself, you're able to make video conferencing, go into the calendar capability, and also use the calendar to schedule meetings within your chat group or within the group of your, you may be a sales team of 20 people that needs to schedule a meeting. You don't have to see everybody's calendar one by one. In the chat group itself, you can click on calendar and see everyone's availability and schedule a meeting. Similarly, if I wanted to do the call with all 20 people, I can simply click on the video conference in the chat group and start the video call for all 20 people. So I think the simple UX UI really helps, and with the advanced capabilities like you mentioned, and these are all available today. So these are not even each enterprise can actually customize it. We have different enterprises using Lark chat groups in various methods. It's interesting learning for us when they share some of the best practices or different practices they're using on how Lark is helping them.
So I want to ask you one more question. Like, this is a very general question. You must have answered this question many times, but again I have to ask this. How do you think like your Lark is different from other platforms? Like, there are many platforms right now in the market. Something known as Slack, then Trello, and Troll, and lot of applications are there, lot of platforms are there. How it is different from others?
I think that's a very valid question. I think there are a few points to this, Karan. Number one, I think the enterprise SaaS market is always evolving, is always maturing, and there is always need for something new or something different. That's point one. I think the other one is the pie is increasing. If you see in India, there is low IT adoption companies, mid IT adoption companies, number of enterprises, especially SMBs, mid-market, even large conventional enterprises wanting to move to, communication collaboration offering. But even to highlight specifics, Lark is truly an all-in-one platform that helps you stay connected, collaborate, as well as work and maintain business continuity together. Now, there are some solutions which are to Office Suite solutions, and there are a lot of solutions which some you mentioned are single function solutions. So people are using independent solutions for what we've seen is companies are using anywhere between 4, 6, and even sometimes up to 8 applications to manage their work. Where we're coming in as a differentiator and saying is it's one application that offers all these capabilities in one. It's easy to use. It's a plug-and-play format, and also brings joy to your experience of using. So I think that's what we say is USP.
So, what do you think about the current scenario of India, like the current lockdown scenario, and how it's going to affect the technology sector in India altogether, like in terms of revenue generation, first quarter revenue, and about Lark also, like what do you think, like how do Lark will perform in this quarter?
So I think it's a challenging times for all in the country, both from a business perspective, socio-economic perspective. I think everybody is fighting hard to sit through these times and come out strong and victorious. As Lark, I can't comment on others, but at least as Lark, we are very committed. We are helping all sizes of enterprises, whether small, large, medium, education institutes, social organizations, startups to use and stay connected with their teams or with their ecosystem, get their work done or maintain their business continuity. I mean, just to share, we have a lot of educational institutions using Lark now to do this online learning to the students, give assignments, have conversations. Startups are doing to maintain connect and continuity with them. So I think these are testing times for all, and we are committed as Lark, and we've made Lark for free to all, any size, and we are confident that I think us all and the country will come out of these situations very soon.
As you just said, you are also offering this platform to education sector also. Like, can I ask you how many institutes and institute and school or colleges are using the platform for their online courses?
We have multiple educational institutes, schools, colleges, and coaching classes that are now using Lark from different sizes. I think we have some as small as 300 to 400 students that coaching classes, or even smaller academic institutions in Punjab, in Delhi, in UP, in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. And we also have larger ecosystems. I think the largest one is about, now, the deployment has started, which is close to 6,000 students. So obviously, as specific names, I can get back to you later on that. But we have different schools, different colleges, and educational institutes, including coaching classes of all sizes now, starting to use Lark and deploy it across.
So that's all. I think that will be a bit of information for me to write an interaction.
No, thank you for taking the time and working through these crises. Wish well for you and your team.
Same to you, and please be safe, please stay home.
Yeah, likewise. Take care.